teacher. I just played the truth the way I always had, the way I learned it from the ones before me. On the Delta, when things were just as bad as they could get, and I took what they gave me, and I gave it back electric on the South Side stage. And somebody across the water heard it and turned it into something that's still going on today. They took the seed and made it grow. They took the fire and let it show. In every stadium, in every land, Muddy taught them all. With these two hands, Muddy taught them all. From a distance and a record, Muddy taught them all. Every note they ever beckoned from the blues came from this South Side, came from this right here. Muddy taught them all, and it's never disappeared. The young one with the lips came up beside me after the last song when the night was winding down. He said, everything I know about the music, everything I know about the sound, something real came from your records playing in a bedroom in the gray of London rain. I told him that was the most honest thing I'd heard in the Checkerboard's whole refrain of years of honest music being played here. He shook my hand and didn't let it go. Muddy taught them all, and they came back to tell me that the teaching was the thing they needed most to know. I didn't know the records traveled that far. I didn't know they'd reach across the bar of the ocean to those gray young men. Muddy taught them all, and they came back again. Muddy taught them all. From a distance and a record, Muddy taught them all. Every note they ever beckoned from the blues came from this South Side, came from this right here. Muddy taught them all, and it's never disappeared. The bartender called last call at 3:30, and nobody moved because nobody wanted to be the first to break the spell that had been sitting over the checkerboard all night. The fitting of two worlds into one small room had worked in ways that nobody expected and nobody shirked. Away from, we all stayed until the lights were brighter than the darkness of those November nights. Last call at the checkerboard means the night is done. Last call at the checkerboard, everything we've won. In the way of understanding has to leave this room. Last call at the checkerboard, the most bittersweet perfume. The young one put his arm around my shoulder and said this was the best night of his life. I told him that was right, it felt that way to me too. Despite the years of strife, of being the originator of something someone else had made so big. You sometimes wonder if it's still your own. He said tonight reminded him it is. Some nights you know, while they're happening, that they'll never come back again. Last call at the checkerboard was that kind of night. Everything exactly right before the morning light. Last call at the checkerboard means the night is done. Last call at the checkerboard, everything we've won. In the way of understanding has to leave this room. Last call at the checkerboard, the most bittersweet perfume. Last call, checkerboard, gone, gone.
She walked in like the weather had a point to make, like she on the floor and everything at stake. In that checkerboard room on that November night, she was trouble wrapped in something way too tight. Every man in that room adjusted how he sat. Every conversation stopped just like that. Muddy looked at me and I looked back at him. We both knew trouble when we saw it walking slim. Trouble walks in on heels and it knows your name. Trouble walks in on heels and it plays a game. Better than the rest, better than the best. Trouble walks in on heels and it heads your way. Trouble walks in on heels and it's gonna stay. Long enough to wreck you, long enough to change everything you thought you knew about your comfortable range. I've seen trouble in 100 cities, on every continent and every kind. But Southside trouble has a different quality. It gets all the way into your mind and stays there long after the night is over, long after the checkerboard turns off its light. Muddy laughed and said, boy, that's the blues right there. That's what's been keeping us awake at night. Trouble walks in on heels and it knows your name. Trouble walks in on heels and it plays a game. Better than the rest, better than the best. Trouble walks in on heels and it won't give rest. Trouble walks in on heels and it heads your way. Trouble walks in on heels and it's gonna stay. Long enough to wreck you, long enough to change everything you thought you knew about your comfortable range. Buddy said, I taught you well. You see trouble coming clear. I said I learned from the master, that's why I'm here. Trouble walks in on heels in Chicago or in Rome. Trouble walks in on heels anywhere you call home. Trouble walks in on heels and it heads your way. Trouble walks in on heels and it's gonna stay. Long enough to wreck you, long enough to change everything you thought you knew about your comfortable range.
They came from England and they played all night. And somewhere before the Chicago dawn turned light, one of them said, where does it go when the night is over? Where does the blues live when the checkerboard's in clover and quiet? I said, son, it never goes anywhere. The blues lives in the south side air, in the winter cold, in the November rain, in the particular weight of the Chicago plain. The blues never left Chicago. It just got quiet sometimes. The blues never left Chicago. Between the songs, between the rhymes, it waited waited in the bar stools, it waited in the wood. The blues never left Chicago the way we always knew it would. He nodded like a man who finally understood that what you're born from follows you for good. That the blues the Stones had borrowed and returned was never theirs to keep. They always knew and learned that it would pull them back to where it started, to a bar in Chicago, to the broken-hearted South Side streets that made it what it was. The blues never left Chicago, it never does. Tone you brought back to where it was born. The blues never left Chicago, but it was glad you came along. The blues never left Chicago, it just got quiet sometimes. The blues never left Chicago, between the songs, between the rhymes, it waited in the bar stools, it waited in the wood. The blues never left Chicago the way we always knew it would. The blues never left Chicago, never.
The whiskey knows things the daylight won't allow. It opens up the places that you don't know how to reach without its help. The young one leaned across and asked me what the blues had ever really cost. Me personally, not the music, not the fame, but what I gave to it before it knew my name. I poured us both another, and I told him true
that the blues took everything and gave me back me too. Whiskey before midnight has a way of speaking. Whiskey before midnight has a way of reaching past the performer, past the stage and name. Whiskey before midnight says we're all the same. He told me things I hadn't known about the early days of being young and hungry in a London haze, of playing the blues with no right to play it, but loving it so much they could not say it. I told him that was right, that love was the permission that nobody needed, nobody's commission to feel the blues, to play it, to survive it. You just had to mean it and arrive it. I've been wrong about the ones who follow. I've been wrong about the borrowed and the hollow. Our versions of what I made, they made it their own. Whiskey before midnight has a way of being shown. Whiskey before midnight has a way of speaking. Whiskey before midnight has a way of reaching past the performance, past the stage and name. Whiskey before midnight says we're all the same. Whiskey says the same, always the same.
came to Chicago, the blues said, come on home. When the Stones came to Chicago, nobody was alone in understanding what this night would mean. When the Stones came to Chicago, for the blues that made them dream. When the Stones came to Chicago, history stood still. When the Stones came to Chicago, every empty seat was filled with something bigger than the sum of what we knew. When the Stones came to Chicago, the blues came back brand new. Chicago, I was already gone from anywhere that wasn't this. When the Stones came along, when the Stones came to Chicago, history stood still. When the Stones came to Chicago, every empty seat was filled with something bigger than the sum of what we knew. When the Stones came to Chicago, the blues came back brand new.
The checkerboard don't close till the last man's standing. And tonight the last man standing number quite a few. There's English boys with cigarettes and leather, and Southside men who know what the blues can do. The bartender don't care who's rich or famous. He pours the same dark whiskey for them all. And midnight in the checkerboard is equal. It makes the biggest names feel very small. Checkerboard midnight, where the two worlds meet. Checkerboard midnight, where the humble and the fleet of every reputation has to earn its place. Checkerboard midnight, right up in your face. I watch the young one with the lips lean forward and ask me how I got my sound so thick. told him 40 years of Southside living and a Stratocaster and a bottle and a trick that can't be taught in any school of music, that only comes from being broken real, from playing for the people who need the blues, because the blues is all they've got to feel. Checkerboard has heard it all before, the love songs and the trouble and the score of every man who came in here alone and left with something heavier than stone. Checkerboard midnight, where the two worlds meet. Checkerboard midnight, where the humble and the fleet of every reputation has to earn its place. Checkerboard midnight, right up in your face. Checkerboard midnight, still going.
And they came from the road. They came from 50 cities with their stadium load of everything that rock and roll had given, and walked into the smallest room they'd ever been in. 300 people packed against the walls. The checkerboard had never heard such calls of recognition when the biggest band on earth walked in and said, "We know what this place is worth."
When the Stones came to Chicago,
The blues said, "Come on home."
when the Stones came to Chicago,
Nobody was alone in understanding what this night would mean. When the Stones came to Chicago for the blues and made them dream. When the Stones came to Chicago, history stood still. When the Stones came to Chicago, every empty seat was filled with something bigger than the sum of what we knew. When the Stones came to Chicago, the blues came back brand new. I remember every note from that November night, every face in that crowd in the checkerboard light. The young one with the lips stepped to the microphone and
to Chicago, I was already gone. From anywhere that wasn't this, when the Stones came along. When the Stones came to Chicago, history stood still. When the Stones came to Chicago, every empty seat was filled with something bigger than the sum of what we knew. When the Stones came to Chicago, the blues came back brand new.
So you came all the way from England to find out what the blues is all about. You played it in your stadiums and your arenas, but tonight we're gonna find out what you're truly made out. This is the south side of Chicago. This ain't no stage with 50,000 lights. This is where the blues was born and raised and buried, and dug itself back up on Friday nights. Welcome to the south side, where the real thing lives. Welcome to the south side, this is all it gives. No curtain call, no safety net, just the raw and the true. Welcome to the south side, now let's see what you can do. Welcome to the south side, where muddy waters reigns. Welcome to the south side, where the blues still sustains. Every broken promise, every whiskey and lie. Welcome to the south side, under the Chicago sky. They told me once you boys had learned it from the records we made back in '52. I said that's alright, that's how the blues travels. It don't care who's playing, just so long as it comes through. So tonight we're gonna settle something easy. Not who's better, not who's first or last. Just whether what you learned in all them years of playing can hold up in the place where the blues holds fast. Welcome to the south side, where the real thing lives. Welcome to the south side, this is all it gives. No curtain call, no safety net, just the raw and the true. Welcome to the south side, now let's see what you can do. Welcome to the south side, where muddy waters reigns. Welcome to the south side, where the blues still sustains. Every broken promise, every whiskey and lie. Welcome to the south side, under the Chicago sky. I ain't your hero, I'm just your teacher. I ain't your legend, I'm just the preacher of the Southside gospel that your record store
let's play it whole.
Welcome to the South Side, where muddy waters rains. Welcome to the South Side, where the blues still sustains every broken promise, every whiskey and lie. Welcome to the South Side,
Under the Chicago sky.
She walks the South Side like she owns every block. She knows every bar, every corner, every clock that ticks toward midnight when the real world wakes, and the South Side shows you everything it takes to survive, to thrive, to burn and still be standing when the morning comes with all its cold demanding of explanation. She gives none at all. She just walks her walk down that